I must be the only person on the internet who start a vlog at 10 p.m, I would say. But why not? I mean, I like to be different, so yeah, I just thought I would, yeah, do a little catch up. Like, I was reading Bridgerton, Tom 1, The Duke and I, and I'm surprised how I kind of enjoyed it. I think it's it was quite entertaining. Of course, I watched the series, and I'm in the middle of watching season 4, so the Benedict seasons, which we only saw like 4 episodes, but I kind of love it. And I was like, you know what, I always wanted to try the books, so starting by the beginning, I guess. And yeah, as I said, very surprised at how entertaining it is. Of course, I just finished it, and of course there is a problematic scene, but I think everyone's aware of it. It doesn't mean, it's okay, but I feel like if I don't take that into consideration, I think it was quite an entertaining story. I mean, it's not complicated. It's like fake dating turning into real love, etc. I think it's quite interesting to see how different is the series in terms of like, the series really showing diversity by choosing people from different background and like ethnicity, and I think that's really great. I love it. But it's quite funny to see that in the books that's not the case. So this is something they developed for Netflix, which I kind of like that Netflix did that. Not everyone is agree with that because they feel like it make things less realistic. But the point is not to be realistic; it's to be just entertaining, I guess. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's not big literature like a big L, but what is big literature in the end? But so yeah, still a strong 3.5, I guess. And I can't wait to read about Anthony in the next one. So I'll probably read that in the next few months. But yeah, I think now I'm gonna start The Boy from the Sea, from Gareth Carr. Carr, do you? I don't know if it's pronounced like this, but yeah, I think I've heard really positive reviews about this book. He's an Irish author, and it's basically that boys who's been found in a stone beach beach in Ireland, and all the town think he's coming from the gods, and there is that man who decided to adopt that kid, but then creates a bit of jealousy in his family with like his son Declan. I'm at the beginning, I just started, but yeah, so far I like the writing and I like the description of the town they're living on the border of on the coast in Ireland, Atlantic coast, and yeah, it's very atmospheric, so I can't wait to see what's the story's about. And yeah, I thought I would try these type of videos where I'm just recording few glimpses in my month and then call it the month's diaries. So these one's gonna be the February diaries. Yeah, just wanted to try new content, new format, and try to see if there is anything that work for me on YouTube. But yeah, let's see where it goes, I guess.
The next day.
Please mind the step between the train and the platform. Please take care when leaving the train.
few moments later. Tomorrow.
Hey, I thought it would be time to update this vlog. So as you might have seen, yesterday I spent the day in London, which was really nice. We walked from Liverpool Street all the way to Westminster alongside the River Thames, which was really nice. The weather was really surprisingly mild for February in London. It was still very grey and we had like showers of rain sometime, but this is what you get when you live in the UK. But apart of that, I think it was really nice. A lot of people around. It was nice to see the city so lively. And then when we arrived near Trafalgar Square, Leicester Square, we had dinner in Farsi, so Farsi Cafe, which was amazing. So I broke my fast there. I'd have the iftar menu, which was really cool and really nice. So it was like a big platter with like a lot of meat, a lot of like Indian food. They do Asian in general, so I do as well Thai food, but it was amazing. The only thing is I burned my finger by touching the dish that were holding all the platter. You can see the pattern of the handle of the dish, but apart of that, we had such a good time, and I recommend 100% if you're in London. And after that, in the evening, we went to see Book of Mormon, which I really enjoyed. It was my second time seeing it. The first time I went totally blind. I didn't know what I was expecting. I went with a friend who really wanted to see it. He doesn't live in London, so it's like let's go and see Book of Mormon. I was like, okay, I'm in, I'll come with you. And I was a bit shocked. I wasn't expecting that. And I didn't even know that it was made by the people who made South Park. But if you know that, then it all makes sense, the humor and like the story in general. But we had a good time. It was fun. There's a lot of trigger warning in this play. It's a satire about the Mormons and everything, so there is some jokes that doesn't land well for everyone, but if you go knowing that, if you know that it's from the people from South Park, then you might have a good time. I think I enjoyed it more the second time because I was less shocked, I would say. But yeah, good time. I recommend. I love going to the theatre in London. It's such a good time. And a part of that, I just went for my Sunday walk quickly, and I went to collect a book. So I get most of my book from secondhand, so vintage or charity shops in general. This one I got on vintage, so I went to pick it up, and you probably saw some clips, but I got educated. It's quite funny knowing that I watched Book of Mormon last night. So it's basically a memoir following Tara Westover, who is the author, and she basically grew up in a family where she wasn't allowed to go to school, she wasn't allowed to see a doctor, she wasn't vaccinated, for example. So she grew up there until her 16. She decided to rebel and to escape from her brother, who is very aggressive, and her dad, and basically the memoir is about her learning how to educate herself, to, all those things that we take for granted, where we live in a normal circumstances, where we go to school, we get mixed up with other people who have like different beliefs, because those people were probably segregated. So in the author notes at the beginning, she says that it's not about, well, I can read what she's saying, that like this story is not about Mormonism, neither is about any form of religious belief. It is there as many type of people, some believers, some not, some kind, some not. The author disputes any correlation, positive or negative, between the two. So she doesn't say, oh, it's about the Mormons, but it might be about, I don't know, a cult or sect, etc. We don't know. But it's true, like those people who grew up in those circumstances weren't really mixed up with people from different beliefs, and didn't have maybe the opportunity to develop their criticism, the critical mind, I would say, because they always been hang out with people who believe the same thing that they do. And it's quite strange that yesterday I went to see Book of Mormon, which is a complete satire about Mormonism and like those people who try to convert ignorant, I would say. But I'm very excited. I don't read a lot of non-fiction, so that's why this year I wanted to do that a bit more. And I think that was really interesting, like the topic of education. How do you educate yourself after so many years being segregated and like unable to do so? So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'll provide any update when I started. I don't know, it might be in 1 year that I started. And then a part of that, I'm still reading The Boy from the Sea. So I'm halfway through, and I'm really surprised how much I love it so far. So I'm not gonna jinx it, but I'm having a good time. I really like the story. I think the characters are very credible. I think the action makes sense. The story follow a path that is not predictable, but makes sense when you're reading it. And this is all I'm asking about fiction in general. I love litfic, and this one is, I'm very surprised. I haven't heard much about it. I know the paperback just came out and it's everywhere in Waterstones, but I haven't seen many reviews about it. But like, just to summarize a little bit, it's set in Ireland, and it's about a kid who's been found on a stone beach by another kid, a little boy, and that little boy take the kid to the church, and then all the community in this little island town called Donegal find this as a miracle, so they think that the kid is holy in a way. So it's, like, Ireland being a very religious country, and going through so many struggles, poverty and everything, they take those signs as, miracle, and they think that this kid is coming from the God. So we follow this story. So when he gets adopted by a fisherman called Ambrose, with his femme Christine, who they also have another kid called Declan, and the kid grew up in this family in these circumstances, and you follow this story of like the kid starting being, kind of like blessing people within the town, and because they all think that he have like superpower in a way, like miracle powers. And then you also follow the dynamic between the family who adopted him. So Declan is very jealous of his brother, of Brandon, because he doesn't get as much attention anymore. His brother is taking all the attention from his father, for example. And you also follow in a parallel storyline, like the story of Ambrose, so the dad, who he's a fisherman who still practice in a very old fashioned, with like, he doesn't really believe in like new technology and like new way of fishing. So you see his struggle of like still making money with like the old way, the old man ways. But yeah, apart of that, I really enjoyed it. I love stories set in Ireland. I love Irish literature in general, and this one, I think there is some beautiful prose, and yeah, as I said, the characters are very believable, credible for me. So this is all I want in a piece of fiction. So yeah, this is all me. So I'll let you know when I finish it what is my final opinion about it, and then I'm just waiting for my friend Ben, who is coming and visiting me in my cottage. We might go for a ride. He has a motorbike, so I might be able to maybe go somewhere for a nice walk and maybe film some clips. But yeah, if not, I'll see you when I see you, I guess.
later.
Whichever place the song lives, I'm convinced I'm wrong.
Hey, I guess it's time for another catch up. You will excuse me for my face, my hair. I've been feeling a bit unwell, so I'm not at my best. I think that's February, the seasonal cold that's hit hard. But yeah, I'm on the mend now. I still sound a bit funny, but it will have to do. I just wanted to provide an update on the films and the books I've been reading recently. Yesterday I watched the latest adaptation of Wuthering Heights at the cinema with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. And I might say that I had a good time. I was really surprised how much I enjoyed it. I heard a lot of things about it. People complaining about the fact that it wasn't really faithful to the original story, and I feel like I stopped going to cinema expecting the same storyline that I find in books. For example, when I went to see Frankenstein, it was the same. Frankenstein is one of my favorite classic, maybe my favorite classic now. And I still had a good time because I'm not expecting the same thing that I found in books. For me, they different stories. You tell different things with different media. So that's why I think I'm easily pleased in terms of like adaptation. For me, the cinema is more of an interpretation of like what you find in a book. So that's why they say based on the novel. They don't say same story of the novel. And this is what's happened with Wuthering Heights. So, like, I had a good time. I think it was beautiful. I think the visual were amazing. The decor, the costumes, the photography, very cinematographic. And the music was also quite interesting. I really like Charlie XCX touch. I think the only thing that is messed up with this adaptation, and like most adaptation for Wuthering Heights, is like that the directors decide to choose a Caucasian person for Heathcliff, which I do not understand. For example, the latest director who she directed Saltburn, I don't remember her name. I'll put it on the caption here. She said in an interview that the reason why she wanted to do this film is because she always wanted to tell her interpretation of Wuthering Heights the way she read it when she was a teenager. And okay, that's perfectly fine. I think this is totally what she done. But I think that it means that when she was a teenager, she decided in her mind that she would don't completely ignore the description of Heathcliff being a gypsy and like with dark skin color, which I feel like that's a huge detail to just ignore. So that's why it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. Throughout the years, there were like countless interpretation of Wuthering Heights at the cinema. And I think only one director decided to actually use a black person or like brown person to take the role of Heathcliff, which is a central role, like it's like the main character. So yeah, that was for me the only messed up thing. Then I love Giacomo Elordi. Saltburn is one of my favorite film. I think he's brilliant. He has charisma and he's a good actor. But when you look at it, ethically, it's not great. But yeah, beautiful. I mean, as I said, it's an interpretation of the story of Wuthering Heights, but don't expect to find exactly the same as in a book. Like, I think if you read the book, there is really two big parts. So you have Catherine and Heathcliff, where they're living at Wuthering Heights, and then you have the second part, which is more following Catherine's daughter and Heathcliff's son. So it's more or less divided in two. And in this film, we're mainly focusing on Heathcliff and Catherine. They don't have kids, and I don't want it to be a spoiler, but they don't have kids. So it's basically focusing on the first part of the novel, which for me, that's fine. I think that would have been better if it has been communicated, and I don't think they wanted any spoiler before it got released. But yeah, I think if there had been more communication, maybe people would have gone to the cinema without that strong, expectation of it being very faithful to the original story. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's worth the watch. Like, I would recommend, just for the experience of seeing that visually. I recommend. And on another note, I finished yesterday The Boy from the Sea by Gareth Carr, and I'm happy to say that it's my first 5-star of the year. I'm very excited about that, and I love when Litfic really surprise you like this. I went more for the setting, so I really enjoyed the setting of this book. So just to summarize very quickly, it's Irish literature, and it's based in west coast of Ireland in a town called Donegal, and we mainly focus about this town living out from like the fish industry. So there's a lot of fishermen, and you can see like the industry evolving around it. And this is my first point that I really love is the setting of this book. I enjoyed everything, the town, and the fact that you could feel that mesmerizing effect of the sea becoming like kind of a character itself. And I love the character. It's a family saga, so you follow this couple adopting that kid, and also him having a kid as well, Declan, and then seeing those brothers hating each other. I mean, Brandon doesn't really hate Declan, but you see what I mean? Like, they have a very tumultuous relationship where Brandon's tried to have, a close relationship with his brother, but his brother doesn't want to give him anything. So yeah, it was really good, very emotional. The ending, very good ending. I wasn't expecting that. It's quite sad. I do like sad stories, so that was quite a good point for me. And yeah, I would recommend. I think the writing was really good. It was sharp, but also sometimes we could see some softness in the writing. So it was a good balance. I think I want to check out what that author wrote, like his, I don't know if it's a debut novel or he wrote other books, but I think his writing was beautiful, and I just want to, this is his first novel. He wrote non-fiction and some children books, but for his first novel, I think that was quite impressive, and I would really recommend if you like this type of story, family based in Ireland, West Coast, and yeah, family destroying each other and then trying to find happiness, complicated characters, very credible characters, like they're not cliched. So yeah, recommend 100%. And so now I've finished with that. I need to read the next book club book that we do at work. And are we gonna read this month A Certain Hunger? For February. I always keep the book club book for the end of the month. So then when I go to the book club meeting, I actually remember quite a lot of the story, and I can like name the characters and name exact details of what happened. Because if I read that at the beginning of the month, then after 20 days, I just forget everything, depending on how good is the book. But it happened so many times to me in the past, so that's why now I always keep it for my last book of the month. And yeah, I just started it. Like I already read only one chapter, and it sounds very, very descriptive. Like we follow that Dorothy Daniels, who is like a food critic, and she write those review of like restaurants and like places where to dine, and she also have another hobby, which is eating her lovers. So she's a cannibalist. And yeah, we follow that. I love the cover. I wanted to read this book for quite a while, but the UK cover, the original UK cover is disgusting. I'll show you here. So I think the publishing house took that into consideration and decided to change the cover. And I think this one is so iconic. I love the painting. I know that it's only the cover. Maybe the book is not as good, but who knows? So now I'm excited to have a good copy. And yeah, I can't wait to dive into it. I hope it's gruesome. And it really delivers in terms of like cannibalism topics and like how she, handle this double life of food critic and then eating man. And also, I just want to know if she's actually cooking them with her meals, or I don't know. I'll let you know how it goes, but I'm excited for that. But yeah, I hope you had a good February 2026. I hope it was full of like good feels, small pleasures, and yeah, I hope you're keeping warm. And yeah, I think I'll still gonna film a little bit of clips, but probably gonna be our last catch up for this vlog. But thank you for watching, and I show you the rest of the video. Wow, that's so weird.
Tomorrow.